Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top three stocks for this morning. The futures market are up, and there's some setups that I want to put on your radar for today. All right, now before we begin, do not forget to annihilate the like button on your way in, and also don't forget to click on that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. So let's get started. Right off the bat, so the market has been choppy since the first run, the week before last week. All right, so last week was choppy right here, and now this week is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. There's been some good news about some things, and right now I think that we're going to break above this level right here, right there. Eventually, we're gonna break above it, whether it is today or whether it is on Tuesday. I think it's going to break through it, and I think that we're gonna get to like $4,275 before we think about even doing a retest later this week, if there is a retest. All right. Now, looking at the Dow Jones. There you go. All right. So looking at the Dow Jones, it's still bouncing off of that previous level of supports. That one also has this structure still going for itself right here. Right. I showed y'all this last week. Those of y'all who may be getting started or who are new to the channel, I showed y'all this thing last week. We had the run followed by the retest, kind of like a double retest right here. And right now, just looking at this structure alone, we got this is a continuation reverse head and shoulders, meaning the trend is up, right? And then we form a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder right here, followed by a neckline right over here. Right there. All right, so the next step is to pretty much break it into a run all the way up to 34,000 for the Dow. I thought it would get there last week, but it just kept dragging its feet. And I think that this week might be the week that it gets to 34,000, which is right over here, right there. All right, so I'm not bearish for today. Definitely not for today. Stocks of the Dow definitely worth looking at. Okay, stocks of the Dow definitely worth looking at for today. Now, the first stock that I want to put on your radar, that one is not just a stock. It's a whole sector. That sector is China. Well, it's a country, I would say. It's China, Chinese stocks. Now, for those of y'all who watched my recap, yeah, my trading recap or the little tutorial that I did for all beginners, sharing with y'all why we initially got into JD, right? It was because of this double bottom bull flag right here. So we got the bull flag, we got the double bottom right here, right? And then we initially got in here last Friday for the jump. So we made money over here, right? And then we got back in again on Thursday. The entry not the greatest. I was kind of chasing again, but I'm still holding. We're still holding our calls on JD, or new calls, I would say, on JD, and just all of China in general is up right now. The price target that I told y'all in that video, I'm gonna pin it like somewhere over here. That way y'all can see it. The price target that I had on this one was around $62 exactly, but I think it can do a little bit better. I think it can go in this circle right here. All right, or I think that it's going to stop when PDD, which is another stock that I told y'all in that video, gets in the middle, maybe a little bit higher, or maybe when that bell rings right here. When that alert rings, that may be the end of the move on China, or maybe the beginning of the where it starts to slow down. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so right now Chinese stocks are looking pretty good. I could be wrong, and it just could go higher. Like PDD could just go straight above 57.5 and go straight for $60. All right, so continue to watch Chinese stocks. If you're holding this one since the last video, hopefully you're getting paid this morning like we are. The next stock that I want to put on your radar for today was this one. Was the first stock 2 weeks ago that I told y'all to watch because of a wonderful, very clean bullish pennant right here on the chart. Starbucks. All right, Starbucks was looking pretty good. I told you that I was anticipating a 10% run. The market cap was at $85 when I released that video. We were right here at $74, and then right after the next day, it ran all the way up to 77, ran to 79, dropped a little bit, but the destination is still the same. I still think that we're going to $84, somewhere over here, right where these individuals are. We got some FOMO buyers right here looking to unload, right, and break even, take a small loss right here. And we also got some short sellers in here who will be extremely terrified if we got above that level. Like if we start breaking above this level, these individuals are just gonna cause a massive squeeze all the way up towards like $88, maybe even $90. So the thing about Starbucks, if you bought this one since I released that video at $75, it's still a hold. A choppy hold, but definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. It's up right now to 80 and 84. It could get there today. So watch this one for today. Watch it, especially out the gates. Like give it like 5 minutes. It might just jump with massive volume. So that's the second stock for today. The third stock for today. The third stock for today is actually we're gonna talk about Amazon. All right. Now Amazon had a stock split. This is wonderful. Meaning, like psychologically, it's wonderful because it gives the perception that the stock is very cheap, right? Nothing has really changed with the value of the company. It just looks more affordable for everybody to just buy more shares. Now this is really nice, especially with the contracts. I would say like just watch it how it behaves. The volume is getting a little crazy with this one. I think it's around 4 million. Yeah, 4.2 million in volume. Let me change it to the 4.3 million, and it's creeping up. It's creeping up. I think it could go all the way up to 129, maybe even 130 today. The contracts may be a little bit weird, so I would say it really depends on how the contracts are. If the contracts are tradable, sure, go like wait for your entries, be very meticulous, and seize the opportunity when it presents itself. All right, when it presents itself. I will personally wait for like a day or two. That way, when the options are settled and the price are set in and the implied volatility is gone, and then it will be nice to jump in on this one. But for the near future, definitely watch Amazon for some opportunities now that the contracts are getting super cheap and the stock is perceived as cheaper, right? Now, another stock that we're going to look at for today, we're gonna look at CVX and oil, just oil companies in general. Now, I don't know if you noticed this weekend, but the price of gasoline jumped again to like 450, maybe even 470, depending on where you live. The bull flag on here is still there. It's not the cleanest. Like we have this imperfection right here. I don't like this right there. And also it's just choppy on the way up. I don't know how long it's going to chop. Ideally, we want to see just a massive push right off the highs. And then we want to see a consolidation. And then we want to see a steady uptrend all the way up to the top. Ideally, right? But it had other plans. And right now it's just looking kind of terrible. Will it go higher? I definitely think so. I don't think gasoline is gonna go down anytime soon. But I think that it's going to creep up in a very slow, annoying fashion all the way up to $90. So that's my very honest opinion on all of these stocks. And that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, helps the channel a lot and allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on future videos. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't added me on social media yet, you can find me at Paul Guma and at PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, left some very basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 15 minutes or less for you to get set up with all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks after setting up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Guma with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.